Jennifer Priest here today to share with you a really fun DIY crayon holder inspired by Epi the Echidna from the Wildlife movie. Now this is such a super fun, cute movie that's coming out really soon on September 9th, so I hope that you guys will check it out. You can see the full supply list for this project down in the description and over on my blog. You can click the link down in the description to get there if you're watching this on YouTube. The first step is you're going to take a smooth foam half ball and paint the whole thing with brown paint. Now you're going to need to do this a couple times to make sure that it's totally covered with paint because it's going to take a couple coats. Next, there are two patterns over on my website on the blog that you're going to need to print out. The first pattern is for the nose of the echidna. So first you're going to take a dark brown piece of felt, cut out the pattern, fold over the piece of felt, pin the pattern to the felt with the dotted line on the folded side. Next, use scissors to cut out the folded piece of felt. So you're going to be cutting through two pieces of felt at the same time. And then remove the pins and the pattern to reveal the part of the nose. So you're going to need to cut 3 of these. 2 of them are going to be from the dark brown felt, and then you'll need to cut another one from a piece of light brown felt. Now you could cut them all from the same color felt if you wanted to. But I just used 2 different colors of brown felt because I thought it gave it a little bit more dimension. So here you can see the lighter brown felt that I'm using here. Again, folding it over, pinning the pattern to the felt with the dotted line on the folded side, and then cutting it out. Now that part of the pattern that has the hash lines on it, that is where the glue is going to go. So you're going to match up 2 pieces of the felt. Doesn't matter which way you start. Put a line of glue on the curved edge and then match the other curved edge to it. Then you're going to kind of fold that over to expose the bottom curved edge, put a line of glue there, and then put the other pieces curved edge on there. So this is going to actually form kind of like a triangle. So you can see here how those 3 pieces all meet up. The 1 piece on the bottom and then the 2 pieces on the side kind of come up to a point almost like a triangle. So you'll put glue along that curved edge, press the felt together, and then let it dry. Once it's totally dry, you're going to turn that inside out. So this is a no-sew project. You could sew this too if you are into sewing. Then you're going to fit it to the foam ball, and this is what's going to form the nose of the echidna. So you want to make sure that you trim it so that it looks realistic. Next, we're going to use a stuffed animal nose and push that through the front of the little felt nose there, and then press on the backing to help hold that cute little nose right there on the end. Again, you want to fit it to the ball and see how it looks. Give it a little trim if you think it needs some trimming to make it look a little bit rounder, so a little more realistic. I found that my nose was too pointy up on the top, so right where the eyes go. So I want it to be a little more round. Once you have it fitted the way you like it, add some glue on the inside of the felt and then press it onto the foam ball and let it dry. Now you want to make sure that you press it down really well, that you don't have any like gaps or openings. Next, take some pliers or heavy-duty wire cutters and chop off the backs of the eyes. Now these are stuffed animal eyes. You can find them in the doll making aisle of the craft store, and just glue them on. Next, use a measuring tape to mark out every 1 inch with a permanent marker on the back of the smooth foam ball, and this is going to be the back of the echidna. This is going to be everywhere where you're going to put a crayon, so you're going to need to make 64 marks because this crayon holder holds 64 crayons. Now what I did is I marked every inch on one line, and then I started at the 1/2 inch and marked every inch on the next line. That way everything's staggered about 1/2 inch. Next, use a hot wood burning tool or a hot tool like this one that I have with a hot stamp on the end, and just burn every single hole. So you're going to be pressing this down to kind of sink the tip into the foam a little bit. Now you'll use a crayon to see if it fits. If it doesn't, you'll need to press down again on every single hole. And you can check the tips when this is cool. Don't do it when it's hot. Check the tip to see if it fits the size of the crayon. Most wood burning tools will have a stamping tip that will be that size. Next, you're going to cut out the pattern for the eyes. Again, fold over a piece of tan felt and cut out the eyes. You're going to put the dotted line part on the fold, cut it out, and then when you unfold it, it's going to make the little eye part for the echidna. Again, use some tacky glue to glue that all down, and I took my eyes off because I realized, you know, it looks better when it has the little tan part, so took the eyes off, glued them back on. And that's one of the things that's nice about doing craft projects, right? If you don't like the way it looks, you can kind of adjust it again and make it look a little bit better. Next, I took some of the scraps of the tan felt and cut little spines or hairs to give this echidna a little bit more of a realistic look. Now, I used the pictures of Epi the Echidna in the movie to use as a guide. So next, you're going to mask off her face with some masking tape and then spray paint the ball in a well-ventilated area. Now the spray paint is going to give it a little bit of texture, but it's going to help cover up all the white that was showing from the foam ball from when we did the wood burning to make the crayon holes. Next, glue on all those little strips of felt to give this echidna a cute little face and realistic look, and you'll just layer those on. Again, I just used tacky glue, no hot glue involved here. A lot of this is stuff the kids can help you do. Next, I drew on some little details around the eyes with some fabric markers, and this was just to give myself a guide and a pattern to follow, because you're going to go over this with some tulip fabric paint. This is a dimensional paint, like a puffy paint, so you'll want to draw the little pattern on. Now I put the crayons in just to make sure that they fit, and so I could get kind of a feel of how this was going to look before I put this paint on. So here I'm just using the puffy paint to give the eyes a little bit more detail, and then I went ahead and filled up the entire echidna with crayons. So this holds 64 crayons if you follow the measurements that I did. I hope that you guys enjoyed this project. Please make sure to head over to the blog and check out the trailer for The Wildlife. You can watch the movie starting on September 9th in theaters everywhere. Bye!